Welcome to Lesson 23, Unit 3 of CKLA Skills. Today we're going to plan and draft a personal narrative of our own. So as we plan, we're going to do like mostly the planning today. I'm going to give you an opportunity to start your draft, but we will draft more and discuss more next week. Okay, check out your writing process and read these steps with me. Plan, draft, edit, publish. Today, I would like each of you to begin working on a personal narrative of your own. Now, this will be similar to the one that we've kind of looked at. We've looked at a few of them in class together. What was the first step in the writing process? It's planning, right? The first step, you need to pick an event that actually happened to you. So start thinking about, and you've been kind of doing this all week, an actual event in your life, because it's nonfiction, it's not fake, that you're going to write about. And remember, when you write about it, you've got to be able to answer those 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. Now, your homework last night, when you took home 22.3, on the back of your paper, you were to write down some narrative topics that you may write about. You had a list of topics on there that you could choose from. Have you come up with anything, an experience that you would like to write about? Be sure and run your topic by your parents or somebody at home. Ask them, is this something good that I could write about, that I could answer those who, what, when, where, why questions about? So you've got to have a lot of details about it. Like if I were writing about something that only maybe I saw for a split second. Maybe I saw a neighbor running down the street, and she had 2 really cute dogs with her that I totally and completely wanted to go pet. Now, I don't have a lot of details about that. I would want to write about something more interesting that I know a lot about, or something that I really want to tell you a lot of detail about. So make sure with your parents, make sure your topic is really good and on point, and you can answer those 5 W's. So have them ask you who, what, when, where, and why after you give them your topic. So share your ideas with someone. Now here's a few more ideas. So if you're still stumped on what to write about, here's some things that are in common with some second graders that they have chosen in the past to write about. A first or significant achievement. Maybe you won something. Maybe it's the first time that you ever did something. Those are exciting times that you remember the details. A special present you received. We're just now passing the holiday of Christmas. Or maybe there's a holiday that you celebrated that you would like to write about. Maybe your birthday's been in the last few months. You're writing about a special present that you received, something you'd want to talk a lot about. And you know those 5 W, the answers to those 5 W questions. A special visit or a trip. We all love to tell about ourselves, tell where we've been, tell experiences that we've been through. So something you know a lot about, special trip or a visit. Last week, it kind of snowed a little bit. Think about some weather-related events. If you've been in any sorts of special weather events that you'd like to share. And make sure that you can talk about the 5 W's with your chosen ideas. So make sure have someone at home ask you those 5 W's on your topic. Show them this chart. So if you need to pause the video so they can see it, pause the video now. Okay, now look in your packet. It is 23.2, which is page 139. So if you need to pause the video, look for 23.2, page 139. You're going to be completing this planning worksheet on your own, but this is going to be about your personal narrative. So whatever you decided to write about, and you pick one topic and stick with that one topic. So whatever you choose to write about, you're going to put your title at the top. So tell me what you're going to name your story. When you answer the who, you're going to write who is in your story on the characters. Your setting will be the when and the where. And your plot. So when you're telling the story, so retell the story out loud. Tell it to someone at home. Tell it to write your story down. But what is the main event at the beginning, and the middle, and the end? So pause the video and fill out your story elements chart on your personal narrative, page 139. Now, after you have finished planning, you are going to begin drafting your personal narrative. So a draft is where you put this all together. So you're not as worried about your complete sentences, spelling words correctly, those kind of things. You're more worried about telling the story like you remember it, using good details, answering those 5 W's. So you are going to draft. You can start on your draft now, but you'll have some extra time next week too to be drafting your personal narrative. But you're retelling your story in your own words. You're using those details. Help us put a picture in our head. In your packet, you will find page 119. This is 21.1 at the top of the page. Here you will see questions. You are going to answer the questions yes or no. Yes if it could happen, no if it could not happen. Now, when you're reading these sentences, these are the all sounds that we have talked about. So look at your all sounds, look for them, your AU, AW, and make sure that you read these sentences fluently. So you may want to read them out loud to someone. Make sure you're sounding the words out correctly. You should be able to read these words on your own, but you may want to double check with someone at home. Do your best on that. Our can statement for today, our learning target was to plan and draft our personal narrative of ourselves. So our story that we want to share with others. So make sure that you have done that process. You've filled out your story elements chart, answering those 5 questions on your personal narrative. You can begin your draft, and you'll have more time for your draft next week. Have a great week, or have a great weekend, and be sure and do your homework tomorrow. Page 119.